Most important question.
Hmm?
When did Peppers play?
Peppers play with like 3 minutes left. It was after that
Okay.
Max Strus 3, which I
Oh yeah.
think put them
He
up
got
12.
hey, he was thinking it up in the first half. He turned it around.
Well, that's a great thing. Like it was him and Gabe. I thought they both really turned it. Man, Gabe Vincent, he was such a menace in that second half. Dude was just ripping the ball from Robert Williams the third. Like he
Oh
was
my
going down.
God.
Robert Williams turned into Hassan Whiteside. Like that was the Hassan Whiteside, always his specialty. He put the ball down low and always got his pocket picked. That's what Gabe Vincent was doing, just ripping the ball from him. And I mean, like Boston did have to have some PTSD with Bam Adebayo because he was flying all over the place with these blocks. It's just like Jaylen Brown goes up there and Bam's just like, and just
how about the ball getting stuck?
Just stucks it right there between the rim.
You know what? If you block a ball and it gets stuck, that should not be a jump ball. They should not be able to. They have a chance to get that ball. That play is over. You got stuffed.
That's a stupid rule. You're right, Leroy. That's a stupid rule of basketball.
You should get the ball.
That was crazy. He had that block on Tatum. I love that Tatum got the block on Jimmy in the first half on his three, and then Jimmy got him right back. Yeah. Got him right back in the second half. Jimmy was great.
You know what I noticed? A lot of shots have been blocked from behind.
Right.
Isn't it like you rarely see that. They do the pick and roll, the guy goes over the top, and on the way by he takes a swipe.
Well, it was such a fascinating game because, for a game for the Heat where they nearly score 120 for so a pretty high scoring game for two great defenses.
Didn't start off like that.
Well, certainly not for the Heat, yeah. But it was for me, I found it to be, I thought it was a well-defended game in a lot of plays because of all the impact plays the Heat got on turnovers. It was a grind because there was a gazillion free throws. So it wasn't like this high-flying game. Then there would just be these runs where like the Heat and the Celtics were going back shot for shot.
Yeah.
But that third quarter, it was incredible. Like the way they could just completely, because Tatum looked unstoppable in the first half.
Yep.
He was hitting
and I
everything.
Don't know, and like the thing about it's weird because I can watch football and even with all the moving parts, I can pretty much give you an idea of what changed. Like right away. It just looks different. I don't know if it was a schematic thing with the Heat as much as they picked up intensity. And it's hard to tell because when they went at halftime, they had to make some adjustments. But I don't quite know what they were.
Let's hear a little bit from Jimmy Butler. This is Jimmy Butler on what was the adjustment at halftime. This is what the Heat star had to say.
It's crazy because he didn't have to say too much. We already knew what we were doing wrong, turning the ball over, not getting back. And so we talked about it and we came out and was like, you know what? We're at home. We got to play better basketball. We got to play better as a team. We did that, went on a little run. But this was just a win. It wasn't a really good win like we want to have because we had a lot of lapses for sure mentally. And we can learn from our wins just like we can learn from our losses.
So there you go, Jimmy Buckets.
Yep.
And not much had to be said. And they just kind of cranked it up. I'll tell you one thing, man. Once again, PJ Tucker, what a menace. Like this.
He is, you know what? And you could go with, and I'll use this as an example. Remember when Jarvis Landry played for Miami?
Yes.
And they would say, Jarvis Landry sets the tone for what attitude the team is going to play with, the effort, because he's always, putting forth that, right? And you have guys in every sport. You have sometimes team has that guy where everybody looks at that guy as a litmus test of how things are going to be done. I don't know how he's managed to do it, not being here a year yet.
Right.
But they all look to PJ Tucker. I mean, even the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Anytime he does anything of like note, if he forces, turnovers, jump balls, whatever, they just appreciate his hustle. It's it's so crazy because for a guy who's not a star, I'm talking about like a guy who's been here for a year, who's not a star, but like is just so perfect for this team. You just fall in love with the way he plays basketball. in such a short amount of time. It's always been said that this guy was made for the Heat, and the Heat really were made for him in a lot of ways, because I think that they have taken everything that he has brought to Milwaukee last year. You know, he came in. I mean, listen, he was open and honest. He felt disrespected that Milwaukee underappreciated what he brought to that team this year. I think we saw it last series with the way they weren't able to guard the wings. And so
that's what I'm saying. That's every, all of the ESPN guys said that's why they couldn't compete like they normally would against Boston, is because PJ Tucker's not there anymore.
Absolutely. And just to think, like, I don't know what he said it was his ankle. I was so scared. I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I was
like, oh heartbeat.
No. Yeah. I was like, oh no. And he comes out in that second half, and like, he's got the hoodie on immediately, and then he's out there and he's ready to go. I think he said something to the effect of, I had a magic genie back there, used one of my wishes. I don't know if that magic genie came on the training room, whatever.
The spray.
The spray. Wink.
The spray.
What is the spray?
You know, the spray that all of a sudden a hockey player is dying, and then they spray that stuff on his leg and he's up and bouncing around.
Whatever the hell it was magical.
I never thought that, like, it's funny because there's very few guys that just come in here that you legitimately root for because you like what he does. And he'd have two guys right now. Everybody loves the Oladipo story.
Yep.
Right. And seeing him contribute is like, good for him. And then PJ Tucker, and so it's really a easy team to root for. And to all you idiots who decided to get rid of Jimmy and keep whatever you got. Silly humans.
I mean, he's so good. He's the best player in the playoffs.
Like, what you say? Oh my, come on. And here's the thing.
Dude, how many 40-point
Here's the thing. He does it on both ends.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's like, how many 40-point games is this guy got to have to throw up there? I think he's already passed his 36 point the games with 36 or more. He's already passed that for the playoffs that he had in the regular season. He's a different dude. Is classic. Like, he's gonna crank it up when it matters. He goes, there's Jimmy, there's regular season Jimmy, and we've seen Jim VP. Had as bad as the playoffs went last year. I thought he had his best regular season with the Heat last year in a lot of ways.
Right.
But this dude, I mean, even Bam said, I think it was towards the end of last series, he says that 2020 bubble Jimmy was better than this Jimmy. And I got to say, Bam, I disagree. Like, I think that, I think this Jimmy is at another level. I really do.
Here, but I can understand why Bam will say that. It's different to score 40 when you're the only option. It's something else to be said when you have the weapons to facilitate also, and everybody's available, and you still get everybody involved. When you look at the amount of shots that everybody else got, and then get your 40, right? So I would venture to say that this version of Jimmy is better than Bubble Jimmy, because Bubble Jimmy was the only option.
I thought that Bubble Jimmy, though, like, I thought his best performances came, he definitely did everything in that run, but his best performances came when his back was against the wall. He didn't have the support anymore. When Bam was out, when Gordon was out.
Where he was the only option.
But this is, like, they definitely need him to, like, score the heavy burden that he is. Like, I do feel like, because there's, like, look, there's definitely a thing where, Bam, you see his offensive numbers are not what they've been. And he's doing a ton defensively. Like, dude is flying all over the place. You can see it, and it's kind of just showing up in those key moments. Tyler, still hasn't got on this crazy run yet, although I thought he was very important yesterday in that second quarter.
He made some Tyler shots.
Yeah, I thought that Tyler Hero really kept him afloat in that first half, because it could have gotten dicey. It could have gotten down to like 16, 17, but Tyler Hero really kept him in it. So, but this is what the playoffs is. Everybody who gets crazy about, oh, well, this guy did that. dude, Chris Bosh scored 0 in a game 7 and defended his ass off against the Spurs. Like, you find any which way you can to get to those 16 damn wins. And if that means that the other guys are scoring a little less and Jimmy Butler's scoring a little more, who cares? Like, you come out of these games and you get the win. You figure it out later about who did what. We'll take a quick break.
Hey,
now let's get to
somebody suggested we need to listen to WEI.
Oh, we're listening. I don't know what they're gonna do. We didn't have Marcus Smart. We didn't have him. We didn't have Marcus.
Oh, they didn't have what's his name either.
Al Horford. Yeah, I know.
Al Horford.
I don't know when they're gonna get him back. Guys, just seeing Duncan Robinson give a 0 production is so sickening. This has been the first. This has to be a first for a player who signed such a monster deal. Insane. Is that really what people are? I gotta ask you something.
It's not a monster deal.
$90 million is a pretty big deal. But I gotta ask.
Basketball terms,
it's a big deal. It's the highest. It's the highest contract an undrafted guy's ever gotten. It's 15. It's a big deal. It's a lot of money. Here's the thing, though. I gotta ask you, in your soul, sir. I just want to know. You have the sickest quarter you may have ever seen defensively in the history of Miami Heat basketball playoffs.
And your comments are who's not playing.
And your thought is after last night's game, man, Duncan Robinson gave us nothing. You're thinking that. I just want to know. I just want to make sure. We're thinking about what direct deposit is hitting Duncan Robinson last night. Because he was trending on Twitter too. It was a funny thing. Like, this has been a thing literally after every Heat game. Duncan Robinson will trend on Twitter. And I think to myself, damage is done, my friend. Like, okay, Duncan Robinson's not playing. Who cares? Like, it's not like they're not getting production from other guys who are making $0. So I really want to know, like, there are people out there, there are Heat fans out there who sit in I can get it after a loss. But after a win in the Eastern Conference Finals, your thought is, I am sick to my stomach because of the amount of money Duncan Robinson makes and he's doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me.
Like, it would seem like there'd be more enjoyment over the fact that the Heat got the win, not who was the catalyst behind it.
It was it really was that's pretty crazy to me. That's a wild thing. But hey, man, it was a great win yesterday for the Miami Heat. 7 more to go. They get game 1. And, to all the people who are sitting here, all the Celtics fans who want to make the Marcus Smart thing, like, TTB, dude. TTB. You know what TTB means? Them's the breaks. Sorry. Because I didn't hear any of you. I didn't hear one O'Keefe, O'Malley, O'Sullivan, O'Donovan, O'Toole, O'Shea, McMurphy, McSully, Sullivan. None of you. I didn't hear any one of you apologize once for Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks. I didn't hear it. Did I hear any of you? Did I hear anything?
Hey.
Listen, we didn't have Marcus Smart yesterday. We didn't have to face Chris Middleton. I didn't hear one Sully or Murph yesterday who wants to bring up the Marcus Smart thing. Don't forget why you're here. Don't act like the Bucks were at full strength. I don't want to hear for a second. I get you. The Heat, did they get a break? Have they been getting a lot of breaks with the injuries? I'll acknowledge it. They didn't have to take on a full strength Joel Embiid. But TTB, dude, this is the playoffs. Them's the breaks. And don't punish the Heat just because, they don't have Kyle Lowry. And
Hey.
so let me get this straight. Let me just get this straight. You want to put it as a knock on the Heat because nobody mentions the Kyle Lowry thing. Like he's not their starting point guard. Nobody mentions it. And the punishment that is because Gabe Vincent's been too good. Gabe Vincent's so good that you don't remember why you don't miss Kyle Lowry. How the hell is that, dude? Tell Peyton Pritchard to D up, dude. Because you want to talk about a traffic cone. Jimmy Butler saw that at any point yesterday, and he was licking his chops. He goes, intangibles.
Slow down, construction workers.
And I thought, by the way, Peyton Pritchard gave him a little punch yesterday offensively. Talk too much trash to Tyler here though. Calm down, Double P.
Wow.
Yeah, calm down. I think you got a little bit too much trash talk from your uncle there, Chael Sonnen. Yeah, did you know that? He's related to Chael Sonnen, former UFC fighter.
Wow.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Did not know that.
I think it's uncle. Is it uncle? Is it cousin? Let me check. Let me double check on that.
I did see that though. I was sad to see intangible on intangible violence. It was not what
It
I
is.
wanted.
You know, it's tough to see. Sometimes two tangibles don't make an intangible, so they really got to calm down with that.
So here's the deal, and I've always said this: they're not playing Al Horford and Marcus Smart. They're playing the Boston Celtics. At the end of the series, they're not going to say the Heat beat Marcus Smart and Al Horford. They're going to say they beat the Boston Celtics. So don't get on the Heat and don't complain and don't bitch and moan about the simple fact that the Heat have more depth than you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's not look, what you put on the floor is not anybody's problem that play for the Heat, because their job is to beat the Celtics.
Right.
Whatever the Celtics roll out, that's on you.
You guys you're looking fine with your bigs, where Robert Williams III was dunking on everybody's face in the first half. If he can't keep it going and he's getting his pocket picked by a 6-foot guard, that's on him, dude.
I think they get, look, whenever you have a moment like that, usually if you withstand the initial charge, because they came out and they were a lot of energy or whatever, and then, you play a team like that and you go, wow, still close, right? And then you get the punch back. And that's what happened. And I don't know. I was so happy to see 14 points for any other team in the third quarter. You just don't understand. Look, it don't matter who played for the Heat. Third quarter was a thing.
Oh, everybody knows about third quarter.
And to see that the Heat came out and scored 39 points.
Turned the turd right on him.
Wasn't scored 14 points. All that power, all that score. Nobody can stop Jason Tatum.
Yeah, don't tell me about Marcus Smart yesterday. Kick rocks.
And guess what? Not for nothing. Stop throwing Grant Williams in my face.
Oh, he's annoying.
I don't want to hear him with the mic.
Oh,
right?
I heard about this. So he was really annoying on the mic yesterday.
Oh,
I heard this. I didn't get to hear. I didn't get to hear any of it, but I heard that he was super annoying.
Well, they stopped playing it because he didn't do nothing. Because he's a role player, and if by any chance you ever put the mic on a role player on the road, he could come up with a donut.
Yeah, he was fouling all over the place.
I'm fouling all, man. Like it. Then here's what happens when the officials start calling fouls. Then people go into theater. The theatrics are unbelievable. I mean, come on.
The rest were having themselves a show pony day yesterday. They really were soaking it up. I mean, it was you had Tony Brothers, Ed Malloy. Like it was you had yourself a crew there.
Were they doing the old, flex? Yeah. They yeah.
Looking like a bunch of umpires out there.
They blow. We got a foul. And then you wait and then they go, offense.
Well, they gave the double text on Grant Williams and Max Strus. Max Strus was like, what did I do? Because I was near the annoying guy. What did I do?
Oh, my goodness.
It was tremendous. It really was. We'll continue on. Yes, we will check in with WEEI this morning. We'll see what they're saying up there in Boston. I know what they're saying. They did what they're supposed to do. It doesn't matter. They're wiggy. I don't.
You know why you understand what they did?
Huh?
Shoes on the other foot, you'd be doing the same thing.
Hard to say. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Hard
No,
to
it's
say.
not. No,
Hard to
it's
say.
not.
Hard to say. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
not. No, it's not.
Sometimes I give credit where credit's due.
No, really. If it's your team, you have never come into this show and said the other team was better yesterday. You have never, as long as I've known you, no way have you ever said those words.
I felt like that yesterday. I did think to myself yesterday. I said, this is Jason Tatum, as good as advertised until the third quarter when they decided, never mind.
Are full of it.
I'm not, dude.
There is no way you've ever come in and say, you know what? The other team was better.
No, sometimes I give a tip of the cap. I've done that before.
When? You have never given a tip of the cap.
I've given a tip of the
you're
cap
the
before.
worst.
I've given a tip of
Don't
the cap
lie
before.
to these people.
No, I'm pretty sure I have.
Look, the people have tuned in in record numbers for us the last few days.
Yeah.
And look, at 6:52, we got 110 people. So kudos to you guys. But I'm gonna tell you like this: for the new people, don't lie. You're lying to these people.
Nah.
You ain't never come into a show. I don't care if it's football, basketball, hockey, and say, you know what? The other team was better.
Nah,
That
dude.
is a lie.
They call me tip of the cap Tobes. That's what they call me.
-1. Just I don't know what else to say.
I don't have the button, so I'll do this. -1.
Because here's the deal. Because -1 is only going to stop from what I really want to say. Because that is ridiculous. Tip of the cap. You ain't what?
Tip of the cap Tobes and Leroy back after this.